Welcome back to the woods of Pennsylvania. Currently walking through a dark hemlock forest. And we're doing that for a reason, because we're going to talk about a mythical creature that lives, or supposedly once lived in Pennsylvania. The Squonk. Yes, if you were with me in my earlier video, we just got done doing a little bit of stream hiking up a very bouldery stream. Still cool, wild stream out here in the wilderness. Now we're walking back on this cool trail through the hemlock forest. And the squonks are known to live in these hemlock forests. Of course, hemlocks are, a type of evergreen tree. It's also the Pennsylvania state tree, the hemlock, or the eastern hemlock in particular. Supposedly the haunt of the squonk. So let's talk a little bit about what squonks look like. They're definitely not monsters, but nothing special to look at either, really. Alright, so as we walk along this trail, let me try to describe what a squonk looks like to you. Of course, you could look it up online, the squonk. There's various depictions of it. But take a pig, your regular farmyard pig, trim it down a little bit so it's not as fat, give it some longer legs, some thinner legs maybe, and the hind legs being longer, and then take away the face, the pig face, and put like a, that grumpy cat that everybody was on the internet all the time, I think that's what it's called, grumpy cat. Put that face on it, but instead of grumpy, make it like a sad face. And most importantly, you got to give it this loose, leathery, like baggy skin that's covered with warts, and wrinkly, and not very good-looking skin. I forget if that's any kind of hair or not, but I think it was just mostly like loose, baggy, warty skin. And we got biting flies bugging me. So that's kind of what the squonk looks like. Maybe about the size of a pig too. Often described as pretty ugly looking. And apparently squonks are very difficult to find. They're good at hiding, but they have one key feature that gives them away: their location. They cry a lot. They're so ugly looking, and they're so ashamed of it. The stories say that they cry. You can hear them weeping in the woods. You hear the sound of a creature like making this awful, or sad crying or weeping noise. And that's how you know one is around. A squonk. But they have a unique thing that even if you do catch one, apparently they can dissolve themselves into water. They cry so much that their tear, they just turn into water. As the one story goes, one guy actually caught a squonk in a bag, but by the time he got home, the bag was just full of water. There was no squonk in there anymore. And as it goes, the squonks, their population suffered greatly during the logging era in the 1800s, when it cut down almost all the hemlock forest here in Pennsylvania. And the saying goes that the squonks got confused, didn't know where to go, so a lot of them went into the marshes and drowned. Apparently some of their feet are webbed and some are not, and so they just, when they get into the water, they just swim in circles and eventually drown. And they say that if you dig in the marshes, you'll find that the bottoms of them are filled with squonk bones, well, the squonks who drowned after their forests were logged over. Even found one site that said if you dig through the fossil record in the marshes, you'll find thousands of squonk bones. Of course, and now that the hemlock forests have grown back, it's unsure of whether you can still find squonks here in Pennsylvania. People have looked for them. Some people claim to have seen them. They're not dangerous, so if you do come across one, you don't have anything to fear from it. In fact, like I said, they do avoid people. If anything, they try to hide from people. Like if there was one out here, it would be hiding. But like I said, you could perhaps hear it weeping or crying. But nothing out here today. So like I said, it's unsure they still exist here in Pennsylvania. You know, some people will say they do, some people will say they don't. So if you do come across a squonk here in the wild hemlock forest of Pennsylvania, don't try to hurt it. You know, don't try to catch it either. Definitely don't kill it, because it could be the last of its species out here. And don't make fun of it, because like I said, they already feel awful about how they look. They're already crying all the time. So don't stand there and make fun of it and tell it how ugly it looks. It might just dissolve into a puddle of water from so many tears. I mean, we don't want that to happen. So like I said, if you do find one, talk nicely to it, speak kindly to it, and just let it go on its way. Of course, probably the best thing to do would be to get a picture or a video of it to confirm its existence, so that the world can once again know that the squonk still roams the woodlands of Pennsylvania. And so the mystery continues. Does the squonk still live among these woods? Or is it gone forever from the forests of Pennsylvania? Only time will tell. Well, that was a fun video to make. I've been wanting to make that one for a while. It was fun doing the research for the squonk as well. Whether you believe in that kind of stuff or not, it's still fun to learn about it and film it as well. But anyway, you can let me know. Have you heard about the squonk? You know, have you had any experiences with the squonk? So you can comment below if you want to about that. So, all right, cool little myth or legend or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, thanks for coming along on another little adventure with me, and I'll see you around.